Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. As you can see, I'm at the beach and today we're going to be talking about the electric vehicle tax credit. Now, the federal tax credit for electric vehicles was given to the different manufacturers, and basically they could sell 200,000 vehicles and those 200,000 vehicles would get a tax credit. Once they hit that 200,000 vehicle threshold, there's a phase out and then it's gone. So Tesla and Chevy, they're the two most notable that have already hit that threshold and no longer can give out that tax credit. The credit does apply for both electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles, so anything that has a big enough battery. The electric vehicle tax credit, you're probably going to get the $7,500. If you'd use it on a plug-in hybrid, you are going to get probably under $7,500, usually around $6,500 if the battery's big enough, but it could be less. So just make sure you check that out before you buy your plug-in hybrid vehicle. For each vehicle, each electric vehicle you get the $7,500, meaning you could theoretically get multiple electric vehicles every year if you have that kind of money and use the tax credit over and over again. So if you can do that, could you buy me a car? Anyways, this is the most important thing that I want people to pay attention to because it's a little misleading and a little confusing and not explained well. This credit is a non-refundable tax credit. Okay, what this means is your tax liability, also known as what you pay, okay, and I pay my taxes every week, every time I get my paycheck. So that's what I pay. That's my tax liability. Since it's not refundable, it decreases my tax liability, but it reduces my tax liability to the lowest it can go is zero. I can't get negative and get extra money. So for example, say you pay $9,000 in federal taxes and you receive the full credit of $7,500, okay? You're gonna get the full tax credit that is advertised to you of $7,500. Now, if you only paid $4,000 in taxes to the federal government, okay, you're only gonna, and that takes you down to zero, because you get the $7,500, takes you down to zero, you're only gonna get the $4,000. You're not gonna get the additional $3,500 that makes it the $7,500. And this is a little misleading because people, they make the commitment, they buy the car, and then they find out that they can't actually get the full tax credit. So I really wanted to bring this into light so people know about this and they don't accidentally buy a car that maybe they can't afford because they thought they're gonna have the money to pay for it. If you're planning on buying two electric vehicles, maybe one for you and one for someone else in your family, you might want to consider buying them in two different tax years. Because if you don't pay more than $7,500 in tax, then you're not really going to benefit from the tax credit. So just think about that. Maybe buy one this year, one next year, or buy one at the end of this year and one at the beginning of next year. That way you can kind of, if you need them that close and whatnot, because you're worried about gas prices and whatever it might be. I do want to bring up, there is some legislation, but I've heard there's a lot, it's having some trouble getting through. But there is some legislation that might open the tax credit back up to the companies that have used all their tax credit, and also expand the tax credit to a higher amount of money. Somewhere, I think it was $12,500. Again, this is sitting. It's probably not going to go through anytime soon, if at all, but it is there, and hopefully something will come of it soon. And then lastly, I want to bring this up about this tax credit, and hopefully they can change it in the future. But this tax credit really only benefits individuals that make enough money to actually be taxed enough to benefit from the credit. So, and I've read some stuff and seen some videos and whatnot about this issue, but I think it might be smart, instead of making it a credit that only reduces your tax liability, is to make it a rebate that you get at point of sale. And that would make people, more incentivized to actually go buy electric vehicles, which was the purpose of this tax credit anyways. And some of the things I read too said that it doesn't even need to be $7,500. Maybe they could lower the amount of the rebate to $5,000, $6,000, but make it immediate. That way people will go and buy the electric vehicles. This would make it more equitable and allow people who not can't afford, but are more reluctant to pay that much money to get a tax break later. That way they can get a lower cost vehicle then. So maybe some changes can be made. We'll see what happens, but hopefully some change comes. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful. This is a very confusing topic that is not explained well, and a lot of people end up making a mistake surrounding. So if this video helped you out, brought some clarity, maybe leave some comments down below. Please like and subscribe the video, share it with your friends, and I will see you all next time.